What's up, everybody, and welcome to my Monday Night Raw review, night after Hell in a Cell, which there's a lot of things to get through. So, kicking off with the show, Triple H and Stephanie were out there to pretty much talk about what happened last night. From Undertaker versus Brock Lesnar, with the Wyatt family taking him away, of Alberto Del Rio returning to, or I want to say Alberto El Patron, to beat John Cena for the United States Championship, and Seth Rollins. The next generation, they said, which I don't understand why they keep saying that. It's already been there, but they talked about what was going to happen tonight. Pretty much Kane is now out of the directive operations. Rollins came out and hugged both of them, and pretty much said he's one of the greatest WWE superstars of this generation, he says. And he's beating everybody. He's beating them all, Triple H has said. But after Hell in a Cell, everybody that won their match at Hell in a Cell last night will be in a tournament. And whoever wins their matches in this tournament, at the end of in the main event of the show, they will be in a fatal four-way match to become the #1 contender to face Seth Rollins for the WWE Championship. As Roman Reigns came out talking about, he said he's making the whole scene sick around here, and that Rollins is crazy of trying to be Hall of Fame bound and stuff, because tonight he was going to become the #1 contender and beat Seth Rollins for the WWE Championship, which I kind of foreshadowed this when you look at it. So the crowd with Reigns, some people said it was a lot of cheers, some said it was boos. Maybe it was a pro Reigns crowd, because usually a lot of cities are not fans of Roman Reigns. Got people in Brooklyn, people in Philly. I would say some folks in Chicago are not. There's a lot of states that aren't really big fans of Roman Reigns. They usually boo the crap out of him. But this tournament pretty much is going to go on tonight, and Stephanie McMahon said at the end, "Let the games begin," which was kind of forced scripted and stuff. But the #1 contenders thing, I guess, makes sense. But people knew Reigns was going to be in this because he did win his match last night. Some people thought I was a little bit confused how this tournament worked. Some say it was almost more confusing than figure out the TNA World Title Series, but I said, that's kind of been figured out now. But Roman Reigns went against Kofi Kingston to see who would become #1 contender, which was a really good match. I'll say that between him and Kingston. Reigns picking up the one with the spear, who will move on later on tonight to win. Miz and some people in the back were playing the WWE 2K16 video game, which is now out in stores, playing as Austin and stuff. And they show more matches tonight. Del Rio's going one-on-one with Neville, and Cesaro going with Owens, and Ziggler versus Big E tonight. As Cesaro went against Owens to become in the Fatal 4-Way. Pretty much people were with Cesaro. I don't think people say this was awesome, but pretty much between Cesaro hitting these big spots, doing somersaults, that uppercut thing he does, even jumping off the ropes and spinning around with an uppercut, is crazy. But Owens was able to get the win with the pop-up powerbomb, beating Cesaro. So sometimes I don't know what they do with Cesaro sometimes, even though he did win on the pre-show. Still big, but they just won't push the guy. But Owens won. Paige was on the phone talking, and pretty much Charlotte Becky says, "We don't like you," but they forgive her, I guess, the consequences and stuff, because they still want to know who attacked Natalya and everything. Which then PCB went against Team Bella. All Team Bella won, and only people that was really over in this match was people once again chanting, "We want Sasha Banks and Becky Lynch." So Becky Lynch got a chant. But Paige beat the crap out of all of them, man. Pretty much, well, both Charlotte and Becky Lynch then hit them with the PTO and everything. Even though I could have swore she, betrayed them a month ago with that promo. So it's like, what's going to be next week? Is she going to be face again next week or what? And for a person that's the Divas Champion, Charlotte is really taking a backseat to everybody. Well, the Bellas, they keep winning matches. Nikki Bella makes sure she gets all her heat back and stuff. And now they've gone into Paige turning on them. And even more on Natalya and Paige. So for the person that's the champion, they don't pay attention to that belt. Ever since Charlotte won that title, it looks like she's just taking a backseat to everybody else. From the Paige and Natalya thing to the Bellas. And it's like Charlotte's always getting pinned for the person that's the champion on there. So not really going out good for her. And I don't know, is Paige going to be face again or heel again this week? So I don't know how that's going to go. Some people wonder why Lesnar was not in this match. Says Lesnar did win his match against The Undertaker the night before, but he's not in the tournament also. And I guess they forgot John Cena is gone now. Well, even though they said he was taking time off, but they never gave an explanation why he was gone. As pretty much Renee Young interviewed Coulter and Del Rio. They call themselves Mex-Americans now, which is almost like Mexican America. They keep calling themselves. Look at TNA, you'll know what I'm talking about. Which doesn't make sense in a way. I don't know where this is going with this. Even like Del Rio keeps looking up and pointing or doing something like that. And I don't know where it's going with this whole Mexican-American thing. And they don't shake hands, but they will fist bump when they came out, did their entrance, even in the end of their match. But Del Rio went against Neville. Del Rio won with a foot stomp, kind of from a double stomp from the top rope while he was in the tree of woe. I don't know why he's not doing the cross arm breaker anymore. It's like, what, is Del Rio's not going to win by kicks now and everything? But I still find it odd with him and Coulter being together. Like, it makes no sense. And the match was alright. I'm not going to say it's nothing but spectacular. Like I said, I'm giving this a month before this thing gets stale with Del Rio being the United States champion right now. Because like I said, I don't think he should have came back. I think he should have stayed in the indie scene. He was the man over there. I think Lucha Underground would have loved him for season 2, but that's not happening anymore. And so, like I said before, some people think it's for the money, and a lot of people, yeah, some people think it is for the money and stuff. And I think Del Rio is doing just fine, but it's just a lot of things that don't make sense about this Culture thing, and the match was just all right. Right back in Team 3D, Dudley's went against Sheamus, Barrett, and Rusev, which Rusev and them won. Pretty much Sheamus, we got the roll up on him. Bear rolled up Bubba Ray, Bully Ray, whatever, and got the win after they said the whole get the tables thing. So I don't know where that's going. That doesn't make sense. Bray Wyatt was out there in the ring talking about The Undertaker as everybody kept chanting, what? They did what chants to Bray Wyatt. And pretty much he talked about the apocalypse will show his face. He called Undertaker a liar. Why you lying? As he usually would say. And that was a war, he says. That The Undertaker is here no more. And when everybody put their hand on the TV and bow in silence for the end of The Undertaker, he says, because it is my resurrection, he says, and we ripped his soul shreds from shreds. And he says, rest in peace, Phenom, because we have now taken his soul. But a lot of Bray Wyatt got a lot of what chants, so I don't think they cared for what he said for some reason. Kane came out, which I'm not very surprised, but he should have anyways. I'm surprised he won't be facing Seth Rollins for the belt again. But Kane came out, start fighting all the Wyatt family, was taking them all out until Wyatt and them got the hand over it and pretty much beat him up and then carried him off. And for some reason, I guess nobody doesn't want to help Undertaker and Kane. I thought there were people that don't like the Wyatt family, so Undertaker and Kane can just be pulled off. They just carried Kane off. They did the Undertaker night for. And they put them off into a dark room somewhere, which allegedly they ripped their souls from shreds to shreds now. So nobody gives a crap about the Undertaker and Kane. They just let them get pulled off. Who cares? And allegedly get their souls ripped apart or something in the back. Like, nobody didn't come now. I'm surprised Ambrose and Reigns didn't even come help Undertaker. Like, nobody doesn't want to help them. They just let Undertaker and Kane get the crap beaten out of them. And couldn't stop them. Big E went against Dolph Ziggler. Tyler Breeze was out there and Summer Rae as they got their own type of like a VIP section with the drinks and stuff. Even, fixing the drinks when it was spilled. They kind of got their own little VIP area, which was a really good match between Big E and Ziggler. Since Big E used to be his bodyguard. But Big E with the dancing is usually funny and stuff. And pretty much I'll just say it was a good match. Ziggler went on to go on and pretty much for the main event to be in the Fatal 4-Way hitting the zigzag on Big E. Ambrose was in the back with Reigns, which for some reason Dean Ambrose doesn't do anything but just talk to Reigns nowadays and buddy up with him since it's their Shield 2.0. And he talked about how he was close to winning WrestleMania and close to winning the Money in the Bank contract. And so he said forget the past and everything. And that it's time to move on to the future. And they bumped this and they walked away again. They did a breast cancer segment with Titus O'Neil and all the wrestlers were all in the ring. Which they started, I guess, Titus O'Neil's a big part of this thing. I guess his mom had breast cancer, I believe. and you know it really means a lot to him. And they pretty much all did the millions of dollars dance. Everybody was doing it. Even people like Curtis Axel in the back and Team Bad are out there doing the dance also. Then everybody in the back, all the wrestlers are just doing it then, pretty much. So it was good, and you know he does like it and everything, so that's great. Miz was still playing the video game until Stone Cold Steve Austin showed up, which I'm very surprised he was even there. So they didn't say it was a pre-tape or something, but Austin was there. He pretty much talked about the video game and stuff, and they pretty much cut away from him. I was hoping Austin would have stunned somebody. But as we get into the main event of the show, Roman Reigns versus Kevin Owens versus Alberto Del Rio versus Dolph Ziggler in a fatal four-way, become the #1 contender for the WWE Championship. Seth Rollins was out there on commentary, and it was a hell of a match in the end. I'll give it that. Hell of a match for a main event. Now I heard the ratings still didn't go back up, but in the end, Reigns pretty much won the match, taking out Kevin Owens, hit the Superman punch spear, which I'm not very surprised that he won. I'm wondering, like, who else was going to face Seth Rollins for the title at Survivor Series? Well, I guess, Reigns will probably not be in that other tag match maybe for Undertaker and Kane, but he's moved on to the title again, and I guess I knew Kevin Owens was not going to win, or Del Rio, he just came back, or Ziggler. So Reigns won it and pretty much looked at Seth Rollins, pretty much had a stare down and walked off. My thoughts on this, I don't know. It was just like, it's almost like kind of whatever in a way with Reigns, because I don't know where they're going to be for Survivor Series. So usually I see a lot of pay-per-views now. Reigns gets the shit booed out of him, so I don't know what to say about that. I just think people are not really big fans. Was he over tonight on Raw? Yes, he was in a good crowd tonight, so he was over with the fans. Usually he's not. But do I think he'll win the title against Seth Rollins at SummerSlam? I'm sorry, not SummerSlam, Survivor Series, I don't know. We're coming in the 25th anniversary of The Undertaker also, so I don't know how that's going to go. But check out my review of Hell in a Cell also, and live reactions from it. So I'm out of here. I'll see you guys later. Peace.